all the exploration he'd go for. And that's been one of those big parts about Mohamed Light. Guys, take it away as we go into our lower bracket final.
Yeah, I mean, this is an exciting one, Juice. Mo, bottom of the screen, Mugi at the top. You know they got nothing but respect for one another, and it looks like we're going to see GY maybe going up against Classic here from Mohamed Light.
Biggest thing in this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, is the potential King Tower activation. Mohamed Light needs to, and I mean needs to, get a King Tower activation versus a Baby Dragon, or maybe even a Graveyard here with the Magic Archer Tornado combo. Basically, you tornado the Baby Dragon up towards the middle of the map. You play your Magic Archer right above your King Tower, and then the Baby Dragon can splash onto... Wait, never mind, he does not have the Magic Archer version. He has the bats. But that, at the same time, means he's going to have Poison. Poison's going to be huge on defense versus Graveyard. Maybe he can take a nice dub here.
I was just going to say, why? How? How is it again? I think he's ran this version twice this weekend, and both times it's been against Graveyard. I mean, that is, again, you talk about Jebez, you talk about Mohamed Light, and their synergy together, and it's just one of those times where they can't miss, man.
Yeah. I mean, you guys talked about the deck pool from Mugi being almost half of what Mohamed Light has played, and that's where analysis and deck picking really shines, because if you can find a deck that can be decent or good versus your opponent's main deck pool, that is where you really get in an advantageous situation. And I think that's what really Mohamed Light has gotten here. Yes, it's great versus Graveyard, but I'm sure this deck is going to be solid versus a couple other picks that Mugi could have gone for.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Mugi actually has not run this deck before. He's run Graveyard a handful of times, but he's used Bowler, Inferno, and Baby and Golden Knight in one version, and then in the other version, he used Evo Knight, Executioner, and Goblins. So again, a very different look. He's trying to be unpredictable, but then Juicy, this goes back to what you were talking about. When you're trying to be unpredictable, do you actually have the footwork that you need to keep up with Mo?
Absolutely, and it doesn't seem like it right now. Mohamed Light with the dual lane pressure, taking advantage of the fact that Mugi's deck is so expensive, getting damage on both sides, and he's back at it again. Spear comes left, forcing out the barbs, Miner, wall breakers, and bats the right side. Mugi defends pretty well here, gets the King activation, goes to the freeze on the defense, but Mo's just always going to be up Elixir after an expensive play like that.
But remember, Mugi just needs one. He just needs one good push. You can freeze those bats, you can NATO those spears. Just needs one good Graveyard send, but Mohamed Light making it really hard to get a tank in front of a Graveyard with the pressure, the relentless pressure. And with this deck and the dual lane pressure, it's impossible to take a shot, right? Like sometimes you'll see Lava players just sit back, and that's a great connection. You know, they'll sit back, they'll take a couple thousand tower damage to build a big push, but that is not the case here.
Law gonna kill all these barbs, you're absolutely right. Basically what Mugi has to do is he has to just defend until triple elixir. Only in triple elixir will he have enough to be able to defend and counter push here. Wall breakers on the left, almost gonna get the connection. Nado's gonna pull back last second here. Maybe this will be an opportunity for a counter push. He does have a bowler on the other side blocking, but it looks like he's gonna just continue to save his elixir here. The thing is that this tower on the left is getting dangerously low to be able to just get finished off by a couple minor poisons though.
I know, I'm just like, because Mugi has to sacrifice damage somewhere, but Mo knows that, which is why he is keeping up so much pressure on the left-hand lane and just enough on the right. And now we're in triple. This is the spot, Juice. This is really the only place where we can finally see Mugi get on offense. That wall breaker cruising on through on the tower. No, last second NATO comes in. Inferno doesn't turn around in time.
And look at Mohamed Light's towers, almost full health.
Yeah.
The entire match, just left lane, right lane, left lane, right lane. Oh, you have a Baby Dragon counter push to the right. All right, wall breakers to the left. Okay, counter the Baby Dragon with a Knight. Sabat's behind. That's another counter push. Okay, Boulder on the left. Let me cycle back to my bats. Defend that. Just immaculate pressure the entire game, finishing it out before the triple elixir can really come into effect. And that's what I've been talking about against that Graveyard deck, of like basically what you have to do. You have to win the game before that triple elixir happens, because if it gets the triple elixir and you don't have that tower down, that's where it gets dangerous. But he did exactly that, and he defended or he defended with the perfect offense.
I loved it. I mean, yeah, it was almost as if he, at the very beginning of that game, he was told, you have 4 minutes to win this game, not 5. So figure it out, and figure it out quick.
Yeah.
And that's exactly. I love that call from you, Juice, because it was perfect. And here we go. Ice Golem here on the broadcast. Rich not on cast. I mean, this is basically a nightmare for the man. His favorite card in the game. Never really played at the competitive level. And here it is. Mo Light running it with GY. And also to go back to that last game, I said this a few months ago about Muhammad Light, and I almost felt like I was having trouble articulating it, but, you know, Juice, I think combined with what you just said, the relentless pressure, because there's never a wasted unit on the board for Mo. If there's bats that just defended and one survives, he's gonna support it. If there's, you know, like you said, if there's wall breakers coming in, he knows that a baby dragon's gonna come down, he's gonna send in a miner to make it more difficult for you, to make you spend more. I just love the fact that there's never a wasted card for Muhammad Light, and that last game was just that completely displayed for all of us.
Absolutely. But looking at this matchup here, Andrew, look at the differences in the graveyard deck pick from Mo. Basically, it's kind of a reverse matchup, except Mo picked a cheaper option. Not only a cheaper option, but with arrows to deal with the wall breakers, the ice golem to deal with the bats. An absolutely beautiful deck pick here. Maybe still a little bit in Mugi's favor, but even the Tesla going to be great here for dealing with wall breakers and stuff like that. Definitely a little bit of a better deck pick here from Mo and his team.
Yeah, it's such a weird deck, right? But then you talk about this matchup and it makes a lot of sense. And also just because this deck has been so popular all weekend long, or at least versions of this deck. Yeah, that Ice Golem, I'm very curious to see how much it keeps those bats at bay.
Here comes the wall breakers to the right, and pre-log trying to stun that bomber, but not going to be able to do it in time. Here goes the graveyard left from Mo. Going to force out a defensive poison. Maybe the skeletons can get a bit of chip here, though.
And that's pretty cool, too. You get the Ice Golem behind the Phoenix, then the Ice Golem tanks for the Phoenix egg, and the Phoenix dying kills the bats. So Mo figuring out kind of all these different ways to make the synergy between the Ice Golem and Phoenix be a little bit more impactful. And then on the other side of it for Mugi, this Bomb Tower and bats are going to do a lot of work against these Evoed Barbs.
You're absolutely right. Evo Barbs off the board already. Here comes a naked graveyard left here, realizing that the poison is going to come down defense anyway, so tank isn't absolutely necessary. Just trying to get a couple skelly shots, which he will. That's defending this bomber. Tesla set up on the defense. Mo just trying to chip away. I'm wondering what his last card is here. He almost needs a big spell if he's going to win this match. That poison, when we hit into Treble Elixir here, is going to actually give the minor wall breakers the advantage in this situation rather than the graveyard.
This is our third place matchup here in August. Everyone still competing this month has a golden ticket, but who's going to walk away with the bigger prize purse? Last second freeze here from Mo. 2 skeletons on the tower, and that is about as frustrating as it gets for a freeze to come in.
I mean, that was just perfect gameplay from Mo. He realized that Mugi used the offensive poison. He had the arrows, and he saved that freeze for the last second surprise freeze, last card. And like you said, 2 skeletons is all he needed there to take a massive damage lead.
Mugi's, though, Knight gets on that left-hand tower, 1553, 1358 to a low tower of 832 plus 1 little Larry Lick there, 751.
Wall breakers along the opposite lane, arrows coming down just to be sure. Ice Golem left to tank for these Evo Barbs. Bats on the right with the miner. Here comes the graveyard. He's going to poison the graveyards from here on out to make sure the poison, or to make sure the freeze isn't getting that value. But that's not how you need to win this game. Mugi is needing a poison on offense to get the damage lead back. There it is. But the bars pick up. I don't know if it's going to be enough here. There's only 30 seconds left.
It doesn't feel like it is. Arrows come down. Mo just trying to make a mad dash on that left-hand side.
Bomb on
Freeze last second just for the damage, but not going to get much out of it. Knight on the tower. Wall breakers behind, 372. That's going to be enough.
Left. Here comes the graveyard. Will he
freeze? Poison early on. Arrows come down. Can't get a Larry on tower. Miner going to go to the back. Miner gets caught. The bomber catches the miner.
Muhammad Light taking it just barely. Are you kidding me? That one Larry getting the final shot in the miner pickup with a bomber. Are you kidding me? Have you ever seen